What's up, fam? Doing a market recap for February 18th, 2022. I figured I'd start today's video off by going through some fundamental news and then diving into the technicals. So, as many of you know, today there was an AMA with Reese and Alex to go over a few topics, one being the spicy news that was incoming sometime or later this month. That kind of got addressed. There was the FA topic that was brought up. There was the MTL, which it sounds like it's ongoing and it's taking place and it's kind of going through different phases. And it sounds like it'll be rolled out to users and kind of incrementally being rolled out to users. And certain users will be able to catch it earlier, and they're kind of still going through the test phase. So I expect this to kind of continue towards the end of Q1 and kind of continue to Q2. They did, I believe Alex, or I believe it was Reese, did mention that there was going to be an article that would come out relating to the MTL, but he did kind of give us some flavor as to what to expect. One being the minimum gem balance to be able to withdraw, and that was about 1,000 gems, if I got that right, and it was about 50 gems. So 1,000, you'd have to be, that would be your gem balance, and you would have to have a minimum amount of 50 gems to withdraw. So that kind of got clarified. There was a VeVe 10% fee, and then he also noted that just like any bank wire transaction, there's going to be a $25 to $30 fee depending on your bank. So that's kind of known and given to us. Now, before I just jump in with technicals, I wanted to give some of my predictions. I know I didn't really shed that light in the previous couple of videos that I've put out, and none of this again is financial advice. I would say this is all educational purposes. Please do your own due diligence, before investing or for any endeavors, really. So my predictions really are, I would expect a exchange listing sometime in end of Q1 or Q2, and I would expect KuCoin, FTX, Kraken, Coinbase, Binance, one of those big names to really come on board. I can definitely see like something like a KuCoin to start, maybe a Kraken before some of the bigger names. Although I think Coinbase is really well in the cards. I think with the news or having them acknowledge the Vanity Fair article with that artist Singh, who did a collaboration with VeVe, that was pretty big news. I think another reason why Coinbase is a potential listing is, now that Ecomi is on an ERC20 and has connections with Immutable X and has connections with Coinbase, I can definitely see that pair working out well. And of course, the Binance would be huge, and I think that's also well in the cards as well. David Yu has had connections with Binance's president, Changpeng Zhao, so we know that there are some ties there that could land the OMI token onto Binance. And really, this makes a lot of sense because David Yu has acknowledged that 2022 is a big year for localization and really spreading their collectibles and the collaborations with the Asian markets. And Binance that would be a really big move for the OMI token, is to get a listing there. So I would expect a listing by end of Q1 and follow that into Q2. My other prediction, I don't think the VeVeverse will happen in 2022. I believe that will get pushed out to 2023. I believe the Ecomi and VeVe team has a lot on their plate, and it's just a lot of work on their team and the developers. I don't think that will happen this year, and just kind of hearing it in their voices today, that roadmap is not clear, and I would say that they're probably focusing on other major tasks at hand, MTL, OUP, master collector. I think those probably take a higher priority rather than the expansion into the VeVe-verse. Although I think that's an important avenue for this space. My other prediction is I'm expecting an OUP article probably within the next 2 weeks. I know Reese kind of brought it up in the AMA. He said that he was leaning on Dan's kind of sign off and input on it. So I would expect some sort of news article to come out regarding the OUP, and I think that will attribute to more people coming aboard to the OMI token to see more value to the token. So I think we'll get some little bit more information there, and that will kind of draw more users into OMI, and hopefully by that time we'll have an exchange listing come up as well. Overall, there's a ton of fear and uncertainty and frustration in the market, particularly around VeVe and Ecomi. The MTL and the inability to cash out, I think, has caused a lot of frustration. I think bots have caused a lot of frustration. But really, I think we need, as the community, to really take a step back and understand that this is a really new asset class with NFTs and digital collectibles. So really in uncharted territory. And I think the Ecomi and the VeVe team is really doing whatever they can and working full capacity to, meet the needs of their users and business partners, really. So I think there needs to be more patience within the community. And I know that people say, the VeVe, the Ecomi team it sounds like a broken record. There's promises, they can't be reached. Well, this kind of happens with any company, any Fortune 500 company. There's roadmaps, there's expectations, they don't get hit. So overall, I think there's a lot of frustration, but I think that people need to see the kind of the bright side and the silver linings to, what's going on behind the scenes with the team, the project. It's very groundbreaking. So, and it's great to hear from the team today. So I think that provides the community a lot of ease and answers a lot of questions. So hopefully they do that more and give the community more insight. All right, so I took up a lot of time there just kind of going through the fundamental news. Now I'm going to try to dive into the charts for today. This is the weekly chart for OMI. I kind of scaled back to give another view. Not looking at the daily as of yet, but as you kind of see, we're still in this upward rising ascending triangle. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, I would expect at some point, whether it's maybe this weekend or maybe next week, to kind of retest this lower trend line before potentially bouncing up again. So that would be my first level to watch. I do think that the markets are a little bit oversold at this point. Weekends are generally better for crypto. So we could see a pump going into the weekend, which can kind of raise this weekly candle up a little bit more. And then maybe we see, a green candle to follow for next week to test this trend line and possibly potentially back down. So really the levels have not changed. I would expect this trend line to be met at some point within, this end of this week or next week or, next 2 weeks at least. And again, I think I've stressed this in the previous video, how important this line is to hold, the 0.0048. I think that is critical. That would kind of keep us boxed in as sideways moving here at this point. Now, kind of to go into the lower time frame, I wanted to just point out something I found pretty interesting. It was the 1 hour. This was the 1 hour time frame, and I noticed around 2 a.m. Eastern time, which translates about 11 p.m. Pacific time and about 6 p.m. Australia, New Zealand, and about 8 o'clock Asian time. We saw some heavy volume come through. It looks like they got bought up and then sold right within the hour. So maybe buyers are coming in. Some sell orders look maybe have hit around this 0.0064 level. But it looks like just by looking at this volume candle, there's a lot of volume that came in around 2 a.m. Eastern time, and we kind of just slowly faded down further. Where is this? This is the 2 p.m. I was kind of, while listening into the Discord, I was following the charts, and this was the time of the Discord. So we got a little bit of a pump during the time of the Discord, immediate sell-off right on the dot of 0.006. And again, I think the overhead resistance here in general has been through kind of a systematic sell order. I think someone had a sell order and the sell orders hit and we saw some immediate retracement. That is just my speculation. This is one candle that we're looking at, but I have, in several different examples throughout the weeks and months, I've noticed definitely sell walls or sell orders that have been either set and have been met, kind of at key areas too. So there's definitely some buy orders, sell orders being put into place, and it's really no coincidence when you see a big sell order rejection at a particular price, especially something around number at 0.006. So anyways, that's just something to look at heading into the weekend. Overall markets were down. Bitcoin was down 1%. NASDAQ, S&P, I believe they're both down. The Dow Jones was down, I know yesterday, pretty heavy. So overall the markets are pretty down, and kind of, I'm looking at the headlines from this weekend. Let's see what happens with the political tensions. And that will kind of dictate the overall crypto market, and then leading into the overall stock market. So anyways, I think I've gotten long on this video. If you like the content, please give me a like and share your thoughts. I'm curious to hear what you found out of the AMA, what your thoughts are and your opinions, and what you think, if that aligns with what I had said earlier. Would really like to get your take. All right, well, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.